Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. We are just me and all my personalities, me and you. It's a we thing. I'm just getting ready to go on an adventure here. I am in southern Utah right now and you know, I flippin' love southern Utah. Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle of I am in the middle of moving. So I just moved out of my house. There are so many things that are I don't know if this was the best time to go on a trip for a week. We went on a spontaneous trip. Well, actually, you know, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I went on a date. It wasn't a first date, but I needed to travel for the date. So we traveled for the date. The date didn't go well. Silver lining in this date that didn't go well though. And you know what, that's part of dating. Not every date you go on is gonna be the love of your life. I will say this is probably the first. I would say I'm a good sport in sometimes you go on a date and it's just like, it's not your vibe. It's not the love of your life. I'm good with that. This was, I would say, my first bad dating experience though. Not ideal. That's okay though. That's a story for another day, but the silver lining and the saving this whole date experience was that I had a rental car and I was like, booked myself an Airbnb in Utah and was like, I'ma go. So drove a few hours and now I'm somewhere beautiful, somewhere that I love, and you know what, that's okay. All is well in the world again. So we're gonna pack for an adventure. So let's get to it. Handy dandy bag. I don't have my normal travel vehicle bin because I did not drive here. I flew to an airport and then drove here. We are going to start with some snacks because you know your girl is a snacking girl. So I'm going to bring with me a Core Power and one of the Chobani yogurt drinks. These do need to be refrigerated, but I'm going to have both of them on my drive to the park. So I'm just gonna throw these in one side of my bag here. Also gonna bring a Chomps. A little cheese. Cheese is just delicious. I don't know what to say. And some high chews because you know your girl loves candy. This is just my water, but I did already throw in some electrolytes, just a liquid IV. For this trip, I brought my Fujifilm X-S20. You guys know this is my go-to camera. I love this camera. And then I have my 35mm lens on it right now. I brought my 50. I'm gonna bring my 50 with me, but I probably will only use my 35. This is if you're new here, my 35mm lens is my go-to ride or die. This is pretty much the lens that lives on my camera. I have been thinking about switching to a zoom lens for a little while now. Kind of on the fence, can't decide which lens I want. If you have any recommendations, please pop them down below in the comments. The 35 is my ride or die. I love that lens and I love how compact it is. That is the one big thing with switching to a zoom lens is they're just so much bigger and bulkier and I always clip my camera to my pack. I'll show you what I mean when I say that. This is my trail pack. This is actually just a larger running vest, but this is personally what I like to use when I hike because it has all of the front storage, which I personally prefer. And then still lots of really good storage in the back here. With my camera though, and I'll link this for you, I used to just use a carabiner, which now in hindsight, that was very risky choices. I have just a clip that goes on the bottom of my camera here, and then a clip that goes on the front strap here, and my camera just clips in. So for me, this works really well, and because this lens is smaller, it fits really nicely on the front of my pack, whereas the zoom lenses are so much bigger, and I usually keep my bear spray in this front pocket, so with a really big lens, they would probably smash together, so I'm not 100% sure how I can make that work. I'm also kind of softly just hoping that either like Fuji or Sigma or someone is gonna come out with the lens that I want in a more compact design. I have faith, right? How hard can it be? I have my water here in this pocket. I also have some candy here, my camera clip. I've got a puff in the back of this pack already and my first aid kit in here. We're gonna bring tripods and a couple other cameras as well. I'll show you what else I'm bringing. In this compact little case here, I have my Insta360 Go 3S. And then I also have my Insta360 X4. I use these cameras for different things. The X4 I really like for drone style shots. You can put it up on a tripod that I want to say is, I believe it's 10 feet tall, so it's really tall. And the way that this camera works is it gets a full 360-degree view. I really like this. If you have been here for any length of time, you guys know that I used to be a GoPro girl. I don't use my GoPro really at all anymore after getting this. And then the Go 3S I also really like. The one thing I like about this camera is that you think it's actually this big, which is similar to the size of a GoPro, but it's not. This is the camera. This just gives you your playback. So this camera is actually really tiny and it magnets to things. So you can either like clip it to the front of your pack, you can magnet it to pretty much anything. It mounts to a lot. So I do really like this camera for more action style shots. The other thing this is not sponsored by the way, the other thing I was really impressed with both of the Insta360 cameras is the audio quality. I can't film on my phone or XS20 without mics if I'm outside because all you hear is wind. It's really muffled. I have to use mics. These capture audio surprisingly well with no mic system. We're bringing these, and then I'm gonna bring a battery pack because something's always dead. So these corded headphones, because your girl's antisocial, and sometimes if I'm running errands, I actually just like to throw my headphones in. If you wear Bluetooth headphones and you're just trying to like run errands and be a little bit antisocial, sometimes people don't notice them, but the good old corded headphones, nobody misses. Also, when it comes to phone calls, corded headphones are elite. Yes, I'm showing my millennial right now, but what can I say? I love them. I lost my other pair and I literally bought a new pair the other day because I can go without my Bluetooth. I can't go without my corded headphones. Tell me you're a millennial without telling me you're a millennial. Let's get on the road. Just a little magic on the drive here for you. If you've never driven into Zion before, this park is just like unlike anything else. Okay, we're in Zion. I love it here. This park is one of my favorite parks in the entire world. It is the sunshine on my skin. It's magical here. The first time I came to this park, I want to say I think it was 11 years ago, and I've been coming back ever since. I lived down here last winter and I loved it. This area is just one of my favorite places in the world. It's so magical here. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm just a different version of myself here, and not in a characteristically different. I show up so differently in life. I'm more present, I'm more intentional, I'm happier, I have more patience, I have more positivity. I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. I think so often in life when we want to grow, we're at a season where we want to grow. Sometimes we can't grow in the environment that we're in, and sometimes it's really important that we leave that environment or we change that environment to give ourselves a chance to grow. You know, you need sunshine, as I sit here and bask in the sun. It doesn't necessarily need to be somewhere sunny, but I think so often people try and make changes and grow and push themselves into kind of their next chapter or their next goal, whatever that is, but they're trying to do it in the same place that maybe they grew up, or the same place that maybe hasn't been the best for them. If you feel like you're in a season where it's just, you're not growing the way that you want to be, I would consider moving or going, even if it's just for a solo trip. Even just like a week-long solo trip has so much more of an impact than we realize. But anyways, it is time for me to go and get started on this hike, so let's go. Okay, let's go. I just kind of went for a drive because it's winter right now in Zion, so if you've ever been to Zion before, you know that it's a shuttle system normally, but in the winter months, they close their shuttle system down and you can actually drive through the park. So I drove through the park and went to the last stop. So we're actually just running up the Narrows right now, which was not the plan for today, but impulse decision, and I think it was a good one. I can't decide if I'm cold or not. Also, like, back down from the Narrows. It was so beautiful, but your girl's having a little craving, so we are going to a bakery. I'm also so surprised because I lived down here for months and I haven't been to a bakery in Zion before. I'm not sure if I'm proud of myself or disappointed, but we mapped one and Google says this is good, so let's give it a try. If you're wondering if I didn't make it even to the vehicle without having a bite, you are correct. We went with a croissant, which just like a plain croissant, and this thing called a Queen Ama, I believe. It's a milk croissant with sugar and butter and some sort of caramelized goodness, and it is amazing. So these are from, I believe this is called Farmstead in Springdale, the tiny town just outside of Zion. They're so good. Clearly, we missed a very large part of the day here. I just got back to my Airbnb and then I had to jump into some work calls here and get some work done. So I worked pretty much the rest of the day. That's usually how I like to structure my days, where I will have time for a work block in the morning, the gym, then spend some time outside while the sun is up, enjoy the sun, adventure, and then have a good work block in the afternoon. And a couple days a week, oh my goodness, I can't talk, a couple days a week I leave evening availability either for coaching clients or for late meetings, things like that, just with people in different time zones for kind of whatever I need to get done in the day. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of working later in the day, but personally I like having a work block later in the day. I find that I'm more creative in the afternoon, and your girl loves being outside when the sun's out, so I would much rather have my work blocks when the sun is not doing her thing versus having my outside block when the sun is down. That sounds less fun. Anyways, thanks for coming to hang out with me today. We haven't had like a solo adventure day in a while, and I've missed these. I've missed just kind of like catching up with you guys. So this was delightful. Let me know if you guys like this style of video, and I will try and do this more often with you. But thanks for coming to hang out, and I will see you in the next one.